What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nate the Great YouTube channel. My name is Nate, and this is a YouTube channel focused on documenting my health journey. I'm currently on day 6 of my sugar fasting protocol, so without further ado, let's just pull it right up here. You'll see I weighed in this morning at 203 point something, 0.7 or something, so scale's moving in the right direction. Now we're only about 3 or 4 pounds away from that Wonderland, and that's really where I'm dialed in and focusing right now. So if you haven't noticed already, I got a mic, I got a little thing for my phone so I can hold it at the right ratio, and so hopefully this video has much better quality and we're all going to learn, we're all going to grow together. I don't know exactly how to hold this thing proper, but again, it's all about making mistakes and learning. So let me give you a little update on me. So I talked about this yesterday in yesterday's video, but I'm in my marathon training protocol for the rest of the year, all the way up leading to my birthday in the late January next year for the 44th birthday. I'm in my 5K phase. So as you can see up on the screen, I'm in week 2. Again, my training days are Monday and Thursdays. Those will be my jog run days. When I get up to my 10K phase, I'll be adding in Saturday for longer runs. So that's a really fun update for you. I'll be getting more into depth on that, specific around just the marathon piece, when I get a little bit more time in the training. In addition, this morning I went in for my physical, all right, and everything looks amazing. All of my metrics, all of my markers, all my blood work came back, and I am just ecstatic, through the roof, happy about all the outcomes. Again, I know there's a lot of contention out there right now about, carnivore and keto, and a lot of channels are pushing back on the sugar fasting. It just doing either one of two things. They're either just completely dismissing it out of hand, or they give you a lot of misinformation about what it is, what the purpose of it is, and then vilify it and provide you a bunch of misinformation around it. That being said, I follow the evidence, right? And I'm not following feelings. So I was just like these carnivore keto people. Over a year I was stuck at 230 pounds. It worked really well until it didn't. And then I just felt stuck, and then I just had to double down, triple down, quadruple down, and nothing was working. It was super frustrating, demoralizing. My energy was garbage. Last year when I went in for my blood work, I had high cholesterol. And you know what I did? I sat there and argued with my doctor. How many of you carnivore keto people have your cholesterol through the roof, or your HDL, LDL ratios, or your triglyceride ratio to your HDL are just way out of whack? And because somebody on the internet, that definitely is the authoritative figure, let's not mince words, right? But they also have a lot of products that you might be interested in buying, like their premium meat brands or their butcher box sponsorships, just random things that you should definitely trust these people on. And they're telling you, hey, don't worry about your cholesterol being so high. As long as your LDL has fluffy LDL instead of the dense LDL, you're good to go. So I sat there a year ago and I argued with my doctor. And my doctor looked at me and said, what are you talking about? Like, I understand there's some nuance here, but overall, your cholesterol is really high. And then all the other markers, I had just mentioned that I don't have any energy unless I'm slamming coffee. So I'm really jittery throughout the day because I'm just caffeine addicted, stim addicted. And I sat there and I argued with my doctor about my health concern, or their health concerns with my health. And you could tell she just was like, it's your life, like, I'm just trying to help you. And so I was just like these carnivore keto cult members, right? Dismissing it out of hand. That's not, when I was fat, when I was 335 pounds, listen, I ate a lot of sugar. But you know what also I ate? Sugar with fats. And so this is what it just irritates the bejesus out of me right now, because up until a month ago, I was hardcore keto carnivore. And I did a lot of water fasting, and nothing would help break me out of that stall. When I heard about the sugar fasting thing many, many months ago, I did the exact same thing all of these carnivore YouTubers are doing right now. Just completely dismiss out of hand as crazy sauce. Because when I was fat and when I was out of shape and I was depressed, those are the things I ate the most. But I never thought about that I'm actually eating sugar and fats together. Donuts, ice cream, cookies, you can go on and on. None of it isolated, just the sugar, okay? So when, I don't know, a month ago, or more than a month ago now, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired and just having terrible sleep. My triglyceride numbers were tanked. My testosterone was tanked. My energy levels were tanked. Everything was tanked. My cholesterol was up. I said, you know what? I'm just going to try this just as a joke. If anything else, I'm desperate. I just want to try something else and maybe see some different results. And when I tried the sugar fast, like two months ago, I said, hey, this kind of works, but I panicked, right? Because it was working, and then all of a sudden, I just started getting this reinforced idea that, uh-oh, you're doing something bad, you're doing something naughty, because, look, all these people will tell you, oh, if you eat sugar, you're gonna crave sugar all day, every day, that's all you're gonna crave. No way I'm going back to that. And I just didn't have that experience. When I isolated the sugar with no fats. Now, when I first started it, I was eating a lot of protein still, so there was some aspect to that that wasn't really following it to a T. But nonetheless, it was working. It helped me break out of my stall. But I panicked and went back to carnivore and water fasting, and yeah, lo and behold, weight came back up, and guess what? I was stalled. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this strict for a whole month. Carnivore, keto, water fasting, the whole nine, and I did everything exactly how you're supposed to do it. No cheats, no nothing. I weighed in 0.5 pounds higher after 1 month of strict carnivore keto. Mind you, I had already been strict carnivore keto for over a year prior to that, so I knew how to do this protocol. I knew how not to cheat, and I was very strict with it. I'm very good, and I have a lot of discipline. So I'm just really frustrated right now because there's so many people out there like me that are stalled, that are stuck. I've seen videos where people, they get on the call after their blood work is done, and they're on the call with the doctor, and the doctor's like, whoa, this is not good. This is really not good. Your cholesterol is through the roof. And these people sit there and they argue with their doctor, and I'm like, yep, check, did that. And it's just so ignorant and so stupid, because if you have an opportunity to just try something different, and again, all these keto carnivore channels, they'll do one of two things. They'll go dismiss it out of hand, like I said, or they'll say, here's my opinion, right? Here's what I suggest that you do. But by the way, I've never done this before. I've not tried it myself. And I think Cole, you know, he's lambastic, and he likes to cause a lot of ruckus and call people names and stuff. So a lot of people get turned off from his message. But he ultimately has something in there, a really nice nugget that I think is really important. And yes, there's some nuances here, but in general, okay, if you've never tried something, your opinion should mean very little, okay? And so to that end, I'm going to say this. If all these keto carnivore people out there that are selling products that are keto carnivore adjacent, or specifically to that, okay, I understand your hesitancy. I understand your immediate thought process when it comes to, nope, sugar's addicting, I can't do that, totally not, it's crackery, right? But you haven't tried it, and you're stalled, and you're arguing with your doctor, and you have all these other markers, your energy levels are tanked, your thyroid function, your T3, T4 blood counts are just way off, right? Your ratios are on your cholesterol are just not in where they need to be. I'm just gonna continuously try and point this out, right? You can stay stuck, you can keep arguing with your doctor, or you can try something different. Now the sugar fasting protocol, it's getting a little culty itself, because the sugar diet thing is really just throwing everything off. Everybody uses them interchangeably, and they're two completely different things. All right, the sugar diet is doing sugar, but adding a bunch of other things in, and then really, it's too much. It's too much, and that's the reason why I've kind of kept away from putting that in my videos anymore, because the sugar diet is too opaque. It's too many variables, so you can't isolate and figure out what exactly you're trying to solve when it comes to your health problems. Where the sugar fasting protocol is pretty straightforward, right? You're just eating sugar. You're eating raw honey, you're eating maple syrup, you're doing protocols that either work for you, or you're trying to figure out a protocol that works for you. Right now I'm doing 3, so I do a sugar bomb in the morning, sugar bomb in lunch, and a bigger sugar bomb at dinner, right? Boom, no snacking in between, no nothing, just those 3 things, and then I go to bed. I get great sleep. My sleep scores are through the roof, And again, I just got all my blood work back, so I am good to go. Everything is in the right direction. In fact, I told my doctor about what I'm doing with the sugar fasting. And of course, the doctor's like, I don't know what this is, but guess what? All I care about is your health markers, and everything is looking fantastic. So she goes, whatever you're doing, do it responsibly. Don't, try to lose weight aggressively. And again, I am losing weight, but I'm not focused on the weight. I'm not focused on the calories. I'm just focusing on listening to my body and eating normally throughout the day, which for me consists of 3 main meals of sugar as the main source. No fats, no proteins. I will be adding in proteins back in, and eventually I'll be shifting off. Once I get to a good body weight where I feel good, I'm going to start adding back in other protocols. I love carnivore. I love keto. They work, and they can work again. And I think this is the most important part. The one thing that I keep seeing consistently, misinformation-wise, is all these carnivore keto channels keep saying, oh, the sugar diet. They want you to just eat like that forever. And again, I hate the word sugar diet. I've already cleared up why that is. So, sugar fasting is a short-term stressor on your body. Guess what? All my carnivore people, all my keto people, guess what? That diet, also a stressor on your body. Also does some of the same things. Guess what? Faster people, all my water fasting people, alternate day fasting people, that's also a stressor on the body. And there's always this weird regression to the mean where the argument goes, well, you're doing, you're getting short-term results, but you're doing some long-term harm. And to that I say, oh, okay, carnivore people, do you have your long-term 20-year studies that can determine if it's an actual, and they go, oh, well, we evolved to eat meat. Like, okay, I was on that cult train. I know exactly what you're saying. But are you stalled? Are you unhappy? Are you depressed? Did you lose a bunch of weight? And then now you're stuck still 50, 60, 80, 100 pounds above your ideal weight? And you're just trying the same thing over and over again and trying to get different results? There's a definition for that. It's called insanity, right? So, I don't want to vilify anything because I'm always trying to toe the line when it comes to anything can work. But if you find yourself stuck and stalled on any diet, any protocol, and you continuously do the same thing and expect something different to happen, I just don't understand how we as a society will continuously tolerate that logic. Because at the end of the day, weight loss has a significant thing to do. Weight loss is the primary driver for a lot of your health metrics. And if you don't lose weight and you're stuck at 250 or whatever your weight is, then you're just, however you lose that weight, as long as it's in a reasonable, sustainable way, it doesn't matter. The weight loss is what matters the most. And I think that's where everything gets caught up in the weeds and all the agendas and all the money, right? Everybody's like, oh, are you sponsored by Coca-Cola? I'm like, are you kidding me? You can go buy a bag of table sugar for dollars, okay? And yes, you can eat cheap on the carnivore diet. You can go and just eat ground meat. But guess what? Meat prices in America are going up, skyrocketing, in fact. I don't know where people are getting this idea that meat is cheap. It's not nowadays. And so that end, same thing with eggs, same with everything else. There's no agenda here for me. It's primarily this. If I can inspire and or help one person break out of that cult mentality, even if you're in the sugar cult, the sugar fasting cult right now, and you're just gatekeeping everything and you're telling everybody that, oh, you can't sugar fast unless you do it for at least 24 hours or whatever. Just shut up with all this nonsense. The idea is this: everybody needs to find out what works for them and adjust and make an experiment. And I'm tired of hearing all these carnivore channels say, this doesn't work, and I have no experience because I haven't tried it, but don't do it because it's bad because sugar. And you're like, geez, okay, well, that's it is your prerogative to do that. But then the next sentence out of their mouth is, oh, by the way, buy my supplement, buy my butcher box, buy my premium meats, right? It's like, oh, it's so nonsensical, and it's so frustrating. But anyways, I know this is a little bit of a ranty video, but we got a new piece of equipment. We got this thing shifted. Hopefully it's not too jarring. I'll be learning from this video as well, just running it back and seeing how the audio and video come out. And yeah, so hope everybody's having a nice day. I'm out here after my doctor's appointment, so it's a little bit warmer than I'm used to. But you know what? Non-negotiable, no excuses. Hope everybody's getting that non-negotiable in today. And so anyways, I'll see everybody in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.